Good morning. This is Jeff from Arcanum Holistic Clinic, and I just want to go through this article from bustle.com. It just came out yesterday. Today is Wednesday, April the 17th, so this just came out on Tuesday. And the article is called Seven Things Your Body Will Do When You're Fertile. And as always, I want to go through and pull out the good points they make, and I'll also fill in any gaps, either if I feel they are saying something that's misleading, or if there's something they're missing that would also be helpful for natural fertility. So let's have a look through here. So starting, just scrolling down through the article, yeah, the first point they make, one of seven, they say when you're incredibly fertile, your period will happen right on schedule. It's predictable, reliable, and happens every 28 to 32 days. Yes, that's correct. I don't really have anything to add to that, but when you have that rhythmic regularity, that really gets right into the heart of the basic life functions of the body. You know, they work on a very rhythmic basis. And when, well, just for example, think of that medical condition, heart arrhythmia, where an improper rhythm, of course, is an unhealthy condition. So anyways, they're just speaking to that very basic idea of rhythmicity of the life function. They're here in their second point. The second point is you'll see a noticeable change in your discharge, and they say, I highlight here, your discharge may become watery and sticky, so it's easier for sperm to enter and travel, and that's absolutely correct. And I also added a more specific point, which is I say another objective measurement is in your baseline pH level, which will be about 7.2 to 7.4 in a naturally fertile state. So, and if you haven't yet downloaded our book, we do have a free book called The 8 Steps to Natural Fertility that your doctor doesn't know about, and you can download that at www.naturalfertilitybook.com. But let's move on to their next point here. Now, this one I took issue with. Their point 3 says you'll get PMS symptoms like clockwork. And they say premenstrual syndrome affects nearly 90% of women, as usually happens a week or so before your period. As uncomfortable as the cramps, bloating, and breast tenderness can be, Dr. Angela says these are all signs that you're ovulating. As long as these symptoms occur regularly and it's not disrupting your life in any way, you're in good shape. I mean, they're partially correct, but I do want to take partial issue here. The statistic is likely correct that the 90% of women experience PMS. I just want to, I guess maybe they are implying this, but they're not stating it very clearly, and maybe they do say something more correct later down in the article that we'll see. But as I say, the statistic may be correct, the 90%, but I just want to be clear that we want to distinguish between a state of health versus a state of disease. So, or to put it another way, what a lot of women may take to be normal, even because 90% of women seem to have this similar set of symptoms, it doesn't also define it as natural, and that's definitely what we want to always be clear about, the difference between normal and natural. So, as I say, it's not 100% clear what they mean behind that, but I just want to draw that point out, that difference between normal and natural. Of course, natural is what we're aiming for. I'm going to jump down to point number 5. They say you'll notice that your libido goes up, and I think I took a note on that. I say, yes, I agree with that, and we do go further into how to regulate the sexual energy to be in a very healthy state. We go into that in chapter 8 of our book, The 8 Steps to Natural Fertility. And let's go on to the next point. Let's see. Oh yeah, I think the last thing I comment on, I'm all the way down at their last point, number 7, you'll feel good or as good as you possibly can all throughout your cycle. And the point I highlight, they say when you're fertile, everything is likely working as it should. Just remember that not everyone can be so lucky to have manageable periods every month. But if you do, it's a pretty good sign that you're fertile. So here they kind of seem to be saying the point I wasn't sure about up above, that they are kind of highlighting that, if you do have that natural state of fertility, your natural state of health will be generally good. Your whole monthly cycle will be fairly regulated and balanced, and not too many dramatic symptoms throwing you off or anything like that. And yeah, as I say, I totally agree with that, if that's the sense that this article means. And you can learn a lot more if you're currently trying to conceive and you intend to do so naturally. We have everything I've talked about and a lot more that's in our book, The 8 Steps to Natural Fertility. And it is available to download at www.naturalfertilitybook.com. And if you already have it, you can also, you'll find in that book, or the way the whole book has been structured, that all that content leads to our fertility scorecard, which is, in our opinion, is a good thing to use about once a month to kind of track where your natural fertility at and where your next steps might be. So if you already have our book but haven't done our scorecard yet, do have a look at that at Natural Fertility Scorecard. I'm sorry, that's the wrong link. arcanum.ca/fertility scorecard, I believe, is the correct link. And yeah, you can see where you may need to work on your natural fertility, what the specific points are, and we can look that over if you'd like, and we can create a unique fertility plan that's specific to what's going on with you. So this was Jeff from Arcanum Holistic Clinic, and I'll see you next time.